What if your dog has been hurting and you never even knew? Not because they're sick, not because something is wrong with them physically, but because of you. Because of something you do every single day. Something that feels completely normal to you, but quietly breaks something inside them. Dogs don't cry the way we do. They don't call out. They don't send a message. They don't knock on your door at 2 a.m. and say, "Hey, I need you." They just wait and hope. And most of the time, we walk right past them without even noticing. Today, we're going to change that. Because what you're about to hear isn't just interesting facts about dogs. It's the truth about what your dog feels when you do certain everyday things. Things most owners never think twice about. Stay with me, because number 4 on this list might genuinely surprise you. Think about the last time you came home after a long day. You opened the door, you were exhausted. Maybe your shoulders were tight, your mind still stuck in traffic, or in that conversation at work. And your dog? Your dog lost their mind. Tail going, whole body moving, maybe a little spin, maybe a whimper, like they'd been counting down the seconds until that door opened. You probably laughed, said something like, Okay, I'm home, calm down. And then you put your keys down. Maybe grabbed your phone, maybe poured yourself a drink, and your dog settled down, laid down somewhere nearby, watched you. That moment, that tiny window right after you came home, that was one of the most emotionally significant moments of your dog's day. And most of us rush right through it. Here's the thing about dogs that nobody really talks about. They feel deeply. Not in words, not in thoughts we'd recognize, but in waves, in body language, in the energy of the room, the smell of your skin, the sound of your breathing. They read you constantly, every single day. And when something feels wrong, they go quiet. That silence, that's where the crying happens. Let's talk about what causes it. This one is so simple, so small. You're running late. You grab your bag, maybe your coffee, and you slip out the door because you don't want to make it worse by saying goodbye. You've probably heard that before. That saying goodbye makes separation anxiety worse. But here's what actually happens in your dog's nervous system. One moment, you're there. You exist in their world. Your scent, your presence, your energy. And then without warning, without a single signal, you're just gone. No transition, no closure. For a creature who reads every tiny shift in your body language, the jingle of keys, the specific shoes you wear, the way you move when you're about to leave, that silent disappearance feels like a rupture. Studies in animal behavior have found that dogs experience something remarkably similar to what humans call emotional protest during separation. Their heart rate spikes. Cortisol, the stress hormone, floods their system, and the absence of any goodbye ritual removes the one thing that could soften it: predictability. Your dog doesn't need a long goodbye. They don't need you to sit on the floor and have a moment. They just need a signal, a consistent, gentle one. Something that says, "I'm leaving, but I'm coming back." That difference, that tiny moment of acknowledgement, can shift your dog from panic to patience. And yet most of us skip it entirely. Here's something that will change how you see your dog forever. Your dog doesn't fully understand what you're saying, but they understand everything about how you say it. The pitch, the volume, the tension in your voice, the way your body changes when your emotions rise. So when you have a loud phone call, when you argue with someone in the house, when you yell at the TV, when stress comes pouring out of you in raised, sharp sounds, your dog feels it as a threat. Not because they think you're dangerous, but because their brain is wired to read vocal aggression as danger. And when the person they love most in the world becomes the source of that sound, it's confusing in a way that genuinely hurts them. Dogs in homes with frequent emotional tension show higher baseline cortisol levels, lower confidence, and increased noise sensitivity over time. They're not just uncomfortable in the moment, they carry it. And the silent part, the part you'd never see, when you raise your voice, your dog often retreats, finds a corner, licks their paws, yawns. Not because they're tired, but because that's a calming signal their body sends automatically when stress floods in. They're not ignoring you. They're trying to survive the moment. This might be the most common one on this list. You're home. You're on the couch. Your dog is right next to you, but you're scrolling, or working, or watching something. You're present in body, but completely somewhere else in mind. And your dog knows. They can feel the difference between you being with them and you simply being near them. The quality of your attention, whether you glance at them, whether you breathe differently when they rest their head on your leg. Dogs are so attuned to human facial expressions that researchers have found they process our faces in a specific region of their brain, the same way we process the faces of people we love. They're not just looking at you, they're reading you, constantly checking. Am I with you right now? Do you see me? When they press into you on the couch, when they put a paw on your knee, when they push their nose into your hand, that's not random. That's a question. Are you here with me? And when you don't respond, when you're too deep in your phone to notice, they quietly pull back, sigh, turn their head away. They don't make a scene, they just accept the answer. That quiet acceptance is the part that'll break your heart if you let yourself really see it. This is the one. Slow down here. Dogs don't have clocks, but don't mistake that for not having time. They have something more precise than a clock. They have you, your patterns, your rhythms, the way you move through a Tuesday versus a Sunday, the time you wake up, the route you take to the kitchen, the sound of the coffee maker at the same time every morning. Your dog builds their entire sense of safety around your predictability. And when that predictability breaks, when you suddenly start working different hours, or stop coming home at the usual time, or your morning routine shifts, your dog experiences something researchers call temporal disorientation. It's not just confusion, it's more like low-grade grief. Because the structure they relied on, the invisible architecture that told them the world is safe and my person is coming, suddenly has holes in it. You've seen this. Maybe you didn't recognize it. The dog who starts pacing, the one who stops eating at the right times, the one who sits by the door an hour before you used to come home, waiting for a routine that no longer exists. That's not a behavioral problem. That's a broken heart trying to find familiar ground. Here's a quiet one, easy to miss. Your dog walks over to you. Maybe you're busy, maybe you're in the middle of something, and they lean in, nudge you, ask in the only language they have to be close to you, and you gently push them away or redirect them. Not now. Go lay down. It happens. Life is busy. This isn't about guilt, but understand what that moment feels like from the inside of a dog's mind. Affection for a dog isn't a preference. It's not about mood. It's how they regulate. It's how they confirm that the bond is still real, still warm, still intact. When your dog seeks closeness, they're not being needy. They're doing something emotionally essential. And when they're turned away, repeatedly, without replacement comfort, without even a brief touch or a soft word, over time, they stop asking as much. They learn. And the learning looks like distance, like independence you didn't ask for, like a dog who seems a little less attached, a little more withdrawn. That shift is so gradual, most owners never even notice it happened. Until one day they look at their dog across the room and think, when did they stop coming to me? Your dog is not a mirror, but they will absolutely absorb what you bring into the house. Dogs are emotional sponges. This isn't poetic, it's biological. The part of their brain responsible for processing emotion is structurally similar to the human limbic system. They don't just observe your feelings, They share them. When you walk in after a terrible day, heavy, closed off, maybe short-tempered, your dog picks up on every signal. The heaviness in your footsteps, the way you don't quite meet their eyes, the flatness in your voice. They move differently around you, more carefully, more alert, trying to read whether the mood is a weather system passing through or something they need to navigate around. And here's the profound, heartbreaking part. They will often try to fix it. The dog who brings you a toy, the one who leans into your legs, the one who won't leave your side on the hard days. They're not asking for attention. They're offering something. They're trying to help. And when we're too deep in our own pain to receive that offer, when we shoo them away or close the bedroom door, they sit outside that door and they wait. Because love for them doesn't come with conditions. Save the best for last. This one should hit hardest. Eye contact. It sounds so simple. But for your dog, a long, soft gaze from you is one of the most meaningful experiences of their existence. When you look at your dog with warmth and softness, not the stare of a threat, but the look of love, both your body and theirs release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same chemical surge that happens between a mother and her newborn child. Your dog evolved over thousands of years to seek your gaze specifically, not the gaze of other dogs, yours. And in a world of constant distraction, where screens compete for every second of your attention, many dogs go hours, sometimes entire days, without a single moment of real eye contact with the person they love. They stop asking for it eventually. They adapt. But adaptation isn't the same as okay. The next time you're in a room with your dog, try something. Just look at them. Not a glance. Really look. Soft eyes, a quiet breath. Watch what happens. Because I promise you, whatever they do in that moment, that's been waiting. Here's the thing about dogs that I keep coming back to. They never ask you to be perfect. They don't need you to have it all together. They don't need the best version of you every day. They don't keep score of the times you were distracted or short with them or too tired to play. They just need you, the imperfect, sometimes exhausted, phone scrolling, schedule changing, occasionally grumpy you. And every single day, without fail, they wake up and choose you again. They don't wonder whether you deserve their love. They don't weigh the evidence. They just love you with their whole body, with every tail wag and every pressed nose and every sigh they breathe into your leg. But here's what I want you to sit with for just a moment. That love is not infinite in its expression. It can grow quieter. It can become more cautious, more hesitant if we consistently don't meet it. Dogs, like people, can learn to protect themselves emotionally. They can pull back, go still, go quiet. And a quiet dog isn't always a content dog. Sometimes quiet is the sound of a heart that's stopped expecting. So why does any of this matter? Because your dog cannot tell you. They cannot say, I felt alone today, or I needed you for a minute and you didn't notice. They can't write it down or text you or leave a voicemail. All they can do is feel it, carry it, and keep showing up. And that, right there, is one of the most extraordinary things about dogs. They keep showing up, even when we don't, even when we're distracted, even when we're not our best selves, even through every routine change and every loud phone call and every night we close the door without saying goodnight. They are here. They are always here. And the beautiful truth, the one I want you to leave with, is that it's not too late. It's never too late to close the distance, to give the goodbye, to look up from your phone, to sit on the floor for 5 minutes and just be with them. Your dog doesn't need a grand gesture. They just need this moment, this one. If your dog is near you right now, and maybe they are because they usually are, look at them for a second. Look at the way they breathe, the way their ears might be turned toward your voice, even now, the way they exist in the world with this absolute, uncomplicated commitment to being near you. That's love. Without language, without condition, without an agenda. The least we can do is notice it. So here's what I want you to do. Go give your dog something extra today. It doesn't have to be big. A longer scratch behind the ears, 5 minutes on the floor, a soft, "Hey, I see you." They'll understand. They always do. And if this video made you think of your dog, if you saw them in any of these moments, tell me about them in the comments. What's their name? What do they do that you've never been able to explain? I read everything. And honestly, I just love knowing about your dogs. If this felt true to you, share it with someone else who loves their dog. They need to see this too. Take care of yourself, and take care of them.